Good morning, friends. Welcome to the Experimental Homestead. My name is Crystal, and I'm coming at you from Zone 8B in the Pacific Northwest. Today I wanted to do a little bit of something to stock up my sad little pantry over here. Just for a little bit of backstory, this is my first year preserving anything, so I don't have the epic pantry that all the other YouTubers have. This is only accumulated as of fall. I started canning. I got my hands on a water bath canner, and I was able to preserve fall crops as well as anything I had in the freezer from the farmer's market that year. And so I was kind of limited, but I'm super excited for 2024's garden. But I had an idea to kind of get some more stuff on the shelf, and I wanted to make some pre-made mixes in a jar. And I've done this before on a small scale. I love to put cornbread mix as well as muffin mix, but I also wanted to try something new today and do a brownie mix, which I thought would be really good for like events where you have to bring a dish, like potlucks for work, or like family events and stuff like that, so you can whip together a quick little brownie dish. So I was thinking we could make a bunch of each of those together today and make the pantry look a little less sad. Gonna need more shelf space though, I see. Come with me to my kitchen. Okay, so basically I have all my jars cleaned and sanitized. That was not necessary. It's just a habit from all my canning. So I got a bunch of jars ready, and we can make about 4 jars of each of the pre-made mixes. So that way we can whip together cornbread, muffins, or brownies whenever we want and not have to think about it. Together, one thing to note is when you're putting dry ingredients into your jars is you don't want any moisture in here. That should be pretty straightforward, but just in case, make sure that they are nice and dry. Mine have been sitting here on this towel for about 2 days now, so they are dry for sure. I figured we would start with the cornbread recipe because it's the one that I really want on the shelf. And if I happen to run out of ingredients along the way, I would be upset to not have my cornbread. Okay, so we're gonna work on this. Let's start with a cup of cornmeal for each. I'm using this guy here, organic cornmeal. The reason why I also like this one is because I believe it's perfectly 4 cups. Yeah, I think it's pretty close to 4 cups. I could be wrong there. Okay. It's gonna fit in there. So a full cup of cornmeal. Probably gonna make a mess. I love this canning funnel. I use it for more things than just canning. So. Oops. Okay. Okay, 1 cup of flour, or 1 cup of cornmeal. We'll do 1 cup of flour, which is behind me. I'm not leveling my flour. I've never found that it made a difference. 1 cup of flour. Okay, looks good. Okay, now we need 2/3 cup of sugar. Okay, so sugar. Two-thirds cup of sugar in each jar. Oh, that's noisy. I'm sorry. Three and a half teaspoons of baking powder. We just need a teaspoon of salt. Okay, we will seal these guys up. Cornbread. Okay, so this is what I was telling you. I just kind of write it on the jar. You can make a tag, you can write it on top. I also keep these recipes separate so that way I always have access to them. But for those who are interested, I'll just recite the recipe again. So this was 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, 2/3 cup of sugar, 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then you would put this into your container that you're baking in. Save a dish, put it right into your baking dish, and add 1 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 1 egg, and then I like to add a tablespoon of maple syrup if I have it. If you don't, it's fine. Canadian, love maple syrup. And then you'll bake it for at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Okay, so muffins. We're going to start with 1 cup of sugar. Okay, next is flour. We need 1.5 cup of flour. Next, we're going to use 1 teaspoon of baking powder again. And then you want to use, okay, you can use spice for this. Kind of depends on the kind of muffin that you're making. I'm making a pumpkin spice chocolate chip muffin with these. And so you could use pumpkin pie spice. I don't have that. I have nutmeg and I have cinnamon though, so I'll just use that. You could leave this out. You could put something else in if you're into it. You could probably make some really beautiful muffins with like anise or something. But yeah, I'm just gonna eyeball what feels right. This is cinnamon, by the way. I have to apologize. My voice is a bit shaky today because it's really cold outside. Well, that's a nutmeg. Okay, what's next? A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You can really smell that nutmeg. It's quite yummy. Okay, and then believe it or not, that's it for this. As you see, there's some room left. You could add some fixins. I actually might do that because it's just one less thing to think about. I think I have some chocolate chips down here. But you could probably do anything if you like nuts or seeds. Yeah. I'm going to try to evenly spread these amongst all of them because I don't know how much I have, but I would normally like 2 cups. Let's go through the recipe one more time. So what I used was, for the dry ingredients, 1 cup of sugar, 1.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of spice. So I used cinnamon and nutmeg, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so then you will mix this in a bowl with 2 eggs, 1 cup of pumpkin puree. If you don't have that, you could probably find something with a similar moisture, and it'll probably be just fine. 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1/2 a teaspoon of vanilla, and then I put 2 cups of chocolate chips. Even though there's some in here, I would prefer to have more. And then you'll bake this guy for 20 minutes at 400 degrees once you get it into your little muffin cups. The brownie mix. So I hope this one works out because I love chocolate. Okay, simple. 1 cup of flour. 1 cup of flour. My flour is almost empty now from this. It's worth it. Okay, give them a little shake. And then 2 cups of sugar. Yikes. I'm probably going to need more sugar. Wow, almost. And then we need 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. I just have this one. 3/4 cup. Ooh, I almost dropped that. It's actually probably a really good thing that I only made 2 of these because I don't think I'll have enough cocoa. Get out. Ooh, it just like fills this up. Oh my goodness. And then just to finish it off, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so got the space cleaned. We just finished up the brownie mix. Let's go through this guy now. So there was 1 cup of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of cocoa powder, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You will add this to 3/4 cups of melted butter, 3 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, and then a cup of chocolate chips. And then you'll bake this at 350 for 25 minutes. Can't say how good this one is. Like I said, this one's new to me, but maybe we can try it together someday and see if it's worth it. Anywho, thanks for joining me today as we made a whole bunch of convenience meals in a jar. I thought it was pretty fun and easy to do. Didn't take much time at all, but it'll save a lot of time in the future. I didn't want to say this at the beginning of the video, but if you're seeing this, this is my first YouTube video. I've done some other small things like collages and time lapses, but nothing with my face, me talking. So I just want to thank you guys for coming to my channel and spending time with me in my kitchen. I am on my own personal journey to self-reliance, and I'm trying to do all the things that go along with that, whether it's gardening, preserving, cooking, DIY products, foraging, you name it. I'm trying to do it all, and I'm learning from myself. So I welcome you guys to come with me and learn along with me if it's something that interests you or something you feel like you'd like to kind of grab control of in your life. If that's something that interests you, I absolutely welcome you to join me here. So if you would do me the honor, a new YouTuber, of subscribing to my channel, that would be extremely helpful, but any engagement is useful for my channel. So if you want to drop a comment below, you can just say hello and introduce yourself. Like this video, share it with your friends. It would mean so much to me because I'm having fun doing this so far, and yeah, I'd like to get to know you guys. Anywho, thanks. See you later.